On Global TV News Express, President Tinubu arrives New York. Abbas Tajuddin applauds President Tinubu's choice of appointees to head CBN. NDLEA rescues pregnant teenagers, arrests suspected drug traffickers, plus earthquake hits central Italy. Hello and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Global TV News Express, live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Fauziya Lukman. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has arrived in New York City, United States, ahead of his first participation in the United Nations General Assembly (UNGA) as Nigeria's president. The Boeing 737 presidential jet NAF 001 conveying the president and his entourage touched down at New York in the early hours of Monday. President Tinubu was received by Nigeria's permanent representative to the United States, Ambassador Tijani Mohammed Bande, and Minister of Foreign Affairs Yusuf Tugga. With 6 governors and 7 ministers as part of his 17-man delegation to UNGA, this is the president's first appearance at the annual gatherings as attend several high-level meetings and engagement with other world leaders and business executives on the sideline of the General Assembly. The theme of the 78th UNGA is Rebuilding Trust and Reigniting Global Solidarity, Accelerating Action on the 2030 Agenda and its Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, towards peace, prosperity, progress, and sustainability for all. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has appointed Dele Olawande to serve as the Minister of State for Youths. The nomination of position precedes their confirmation by the Senate. Ajuri Ngilali, Special Advisor to the President of Media and Publicity, announced the development in a statement on Sunday. The position of Minister of Youth became vacant after the President redeployed Abubakar Momo to Ministry of Niger Delta Development. The federal government and leadership of the Nigerian Labour Congress will today meet to resolve issues over the looming industrial action. The Director of Information, Ministry of Labour and Employment, Olajide Oshundun, disclosed the meeting between the two parties in a Sunday statement, in which he said Ministry of Labour and Employment, Simon Lalong, has again invited the NLC for another meeting over its planned indefinite strike. The NLC had given notice of a 2-day warning strike to protest the excruciating mass suffering and impoverishment experienced around the country, threatening a total and indefinite shutdown of the economy within 14 working days or 21 days after the warning strike if the government did not take steps to address the hardship being experienced across the country. Vice President Kashim Shettima has identified international cooperation as the most realistic path towards maximizing opportunities and resolving global challenges. Shettima made this known in his address to the world leaders at the ongoing G77 China Leaders Summit at the Palace Convention in Havana, Cuba. Addressing an assembly of the heads of state governments, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres and delegates from the over 100 countries in the global south, the Vice President emphasized the need to stay focused on leveraging cooperation and partnership for finding practical solutions to global challenges. He expressed Nigeria's commitment to partnership with member states of the G77 China towards addressing global problems. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin, has on Sunday applauded President Bola Tinubu's choice of appointees to manage the Central Bank of Nigeria affairs. Abbas described Olayemi Kosodo, who the president on Friday appointed as the new governor of the CBN, as well as Mohammed Sani Abdullahi Dattijo, Emen Nausoro, Philip Ekeazo, and Bala Bello, who were appointed as deputy governors of the Apex Bank. As head-heads in the financial and economic sector, they have what it takes to reposition to the CBN. Abbas remarked that the newly appointed management team of the CBN has a huge task ahead of them. He therefore urged them to apply their expertise to navigate the economy to prosperity. Edo State Deputy Governor Philip Shuaibu was on Monday morning locked out of his office at the Dennis Osebede Avenue seat of power in Benin City, Edo State capital. Shuaibu got to his office and met a chain and a heavy padlock at the entrance. The embattled deputy governor and his aides waited for about an hour and thereafter left. Shuaibu also made frantic phone calls to his principal, Governor Andrew Obaseki, but to no avail. Sources revealed that Shaibu had some discussions with the State Commissioner of Police and the Director of State Service Security, DSS, alerting them of how he was locked out from his office. The federal government is planning 2 superhighways across the country through public-private partnership scheme. Minister of Works David Umahi disclosed this to the State House correspondents on Sunday after a meeting with President Bola Tinubu in Abuja. He said that the highway would be from Abuja to Lagos and Port Harcourt to Lagos, adding that they would be provided with state-of-art facilities for the comfort of traveling public. The minister said the government has got commitment from stakeholders to make the project a success within a reasonable period of time. He also said that due to inappropriate funding, he has asked the president to direct the termination of road projects that have taken more than 10 years without completion. The minister assured Nigerians that no project initiated by the past administration will be abandoned by the government. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) in Imo State on patrol along Oba-Owerri Expressway have rescued 5 pregnant teenagers suspected to be victims of child trafficking used as baby factory. They were picked up while being relocated from their hideout in the Nas area of Owerri in Ikenebu area of the state's capital. The spokesman of the Anti-Narcotics Agency, Femi Babafemi, revealed in a statement on Sunday the teenagers claimed they didn't know the men who impregnated them. The Imo State Command of the agency has since been directed to hand them over to the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons for further investigation. Babafemi noted, meanwhile, fresh attempts to export various quantities of methamphetamine and skunk by members of some transnational drug trafficking organizations through the Murtala Mohammed International Airport Ikeja and courier companies in Lagos were again thwarted by operatives of the NDLEA, who intercepted the illicit drug consignment concealed in different items. Earthquake on Monday morning struck central Italy north of Florence, sending residents into the streets on a sad note. According to reports, there was no immediate damage, but schools were closed in some areas as precautions and trains were delayed pending checks on the railway lines. Italy's National Institute for Geophysics and Volcanology, INGV, measured the earthquake to be at 4.8 on the Richter scale, with its epicenter near Maradi, a town of about 3,000 residents in the province of Florence, within the Ampefine mountain range. It was gathered that the earthquake occurred at 10 minutes past 5 a.m., confirming the incident. Firefighters wrote on their X, formerly Twitter, that frightened residents had been calling emergency services, but no personal injuries have been reported at this time. The mayor of Maradi, Tommaso Tribati, told reporters the firefighters were conducting checks inside private homes. Investigators traveled Sunday to a remote town in Brazilian Amazon to probe a plane crash that killed 14 people and left no survivors, as authorities brought the bodies to be identified. Officials in Amazon stated that the small turboprop plane was flying aground of Brazilian sport fishermen into the northern town of Barcelos Saturday when it crashed in a stormy weather, apparently after starting its descendants too late and skidding off the end of the runway. A team of 5 Air Force investigators flew state capital Manaus to Barcelos to begin analyzing the crash, which killed all passengers and 2 crew. Another flight carried empty coffins to the town so the bodies could be brought back to be identified in Manaus, 400 kilometers, which is 250 miles away. Officials says the body were expected to arrive Manaus around 6 p.m. local time on Sunday. In the meantime, Tijani Mohammed Bande, Nigeria's permanent representative to the United Nations, says the recent coups in African countries are regressing democracy on the continent. Speaking with the news agency of Nigeria in New York on Saturday, Mohammed Bande said the effects of the coup would spiral into a setback for prosperity, adding that African countries fought for the sovereignty of their nations and should be at liberty to choose how they would live. Signs of discontent within the Nigerian armed forces are mounting. Soldiers, both non-commissioned officers and officers, do not feel supported or protected by the junta's general. The latter are more concerned with protecting their financial interests and their already shaking foot in power than with defending the interests of their subordinates. No longer listening to their men, the junta seem increasingly isolated while popular anger rumples. You're watching Global TV News Express, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We are on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and under handles now showing on your screen. When Global TV News Express return, AFDB president says Africa leading market frontier with huge untapped potential. We'll tell you about this and more right after this break. Please don't go away. Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of the News Express from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. The new acting chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, Zak Adedeji, on Monday said the agency is fully committed to empowering Nigeria's growth and development. Adedeji, who was appointed as the new acting chairman of FIRS by President Bola Tinubu last Thursday, said this in a statement on X, formerly Twitter, where he officially assumed office. Adedeji said the FIRS is determined to align itself with President Bola Tinubu's Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms Committee for a collaboration that will enable the government to shape a prosperous fiscal landscape that empowers national growth and development. He added that the agency will implement a robust enforcement model that effectively deters tax evaders while maintaining fairness and transparency in its processes. According to him, a fundamental aspect of the agency's mission is to elucidate to taxpayers why their civic duty matters and that they are committed to simplifying Nigeria's tax system, making it accessible and comprehensible, thereby facilitating voluntary tax payments and fostering a sense of credibility. Let's take a look at business news for you. The Ministry of Solid Minerals has made efforts to attract investors to explore lithium deposit in the country. A statement by the Ministry of Deputy Director and Information, Alaba Balogun, said on Friday at the exhibition booth of the Ministry of Solid Minerals and at the Pan Pacific Hotel during the 21st African Down Under Conference in Perth, Australia. The statement disclosed that investors showed interest in the country's minerals. The statement says, presenting a robust case for investment in the country's mining industry, Minister of Solid Minerals Dele Alake had highlighted plans to set up the Nigerian Solid Mineral Corporation as the interface between the global mining industry and Nigeria, adding that the law permits investors to take profits out. The minister also assured investors of safety, reiterating that the government has given illegal miners 30 days to join cooperatives in addition to plans to deploy surveillance tags and mine police to combat criminals at the mines. The Minister of Transport, Senator Saidu Alkali, has directed contractors handling the Kaduna-Kano rail line to review construction materials against vandalization. The minister gave the directive while inspecting the level of work on the project site in Makarfi local government area of Kaduna State. Urging the contractors to use anti-theft clips instead of metal, the minister added that government will collaborate with security agencies to ensure timely delivery of the project. The contractors, however, lamented security challenges in the area and asked for a collaboration with the military. African Development Bank AFDB President Akinwumi Adesina has called on Korean investors to seize untapped investment opportunities in Africa, especially in the energy and agriculture sectors. Adesina, in a statement on the bank website, said the African continent could not be ignored by investors. At the business forum that was held during the 7th Korea-African Economic Cooperation Ministerial Conference in Korea's second largest city, Busan, Adesina highlighted the potentialities for Africa to become a leading market frontier, boasting enormous possibility in agriculture and renewable energy sources. The bank chief assured the Korean investors that Africa is not as risky as reported, adding that it is a continent of opportunities waiting to be tapped. Amidst the ongoing controversy surrounding the exclusion of Nigerian match officials from AFCON 2023 duties, Senator John Eno, Minister of Sports Development, has expressed the need for an immediate meeting with the Nigerian Premier Football League (NPFL) club owners and referees. The minister has personally requested engagement with the stakeholders before the upcoming Elite League season kicks off, aiming to convey official communication. It will be recalled that the Confederation of African Football (CAF) had listed 85 referees of various departments ahead of the AFCON. However, no referee from Nigeria was selected amongst those shortlisted for the cause, signaling a possible absence of the country's match officials at the Nation Cup next year. Rivers United from Port Harcourt managed to hold host Etoile Filante to a scoreless draw in the first leg of their second preliminary round fixture to start off their 2023-2024 CAF Federation Cup campaign in Côte d'Ivoire. Rivers United had qualified for the second round after they drew bye in the first preliminary round, in a promising result for Rivers State as they look to progress to the tournament. Etoile Filante, on their part, reached the second round after they defeated Casa Zegor in Senegal in the first round. The game, which was played at the Municipal Stadium in the Yamoussoukro near Abidjan, ended goalless in spite of two efforts of the teams to secure a vital victory. For more updates on sports, let's now join Sharon Aji.
Nigerian Odu star Tobi Amusan has bounced back to win the Diamond League after the heartbreaking defeat of the World Championship in Budapest. The 26-year-old World 100-meter Odu record holder continues to make history as she claimed gold medal with a time of 12.33 seconds on Sunday night in Oregon, USA. Amusan, who won her first Diamond League title in 2021 in 12.42 seconds, is now the second woman after Dawn Nelson-Apper to win 100-meter hurdles title 3 times in a row. In a different development, Tyson Fury has no interest in fighting Anthony Joshua, despite the fact boxing fans are longing for an all-British bout between the two heavyweights. Fury said he was only interested in bouts that would make him lots of money, and he said there is more potential in fighting an American like Jones than there is in fighting AJ. Fury and Joshua has been locked in talks over a battle of Britain bouts last year, but discussions broke down after the Gypsy King grew impatient, waiting for AJ to sign the contract. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
A quick look at the summary of our top stories as we end the Global TV News Express. President Tinubu arrives New York. Abbas Tajuddin applauds President Tinubu's choice of appointees to head CBN. NDLEA rescues pregnant teenagers, arrests suspected drug traffickers. Plus, earthquake hits central Italy. Well, that's it on Global TV News Express, which came to you from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Fauziya Lukman, thanking you so very much for watching. Good evening.